Good morning, great people. This is Zip. Welcome to Zip Tips, where we talk about crypto and mindset and everybody getting to the finish line. Hope everyone's doing fantastic this morning. I want to thank all the new subscribers and all the likes and the comments as we walk through this journey of crypto together. Today, we're going to talk about the psychology of the markets and where we believe XRP is. We're going to look at some analyst news for XRP, as well as the digital commodity stockpile and the Internet of Value. We want to talk a little bit of BTC news that's coming out. And then at the end, we're going to talk about some SEC news and a reminder about some ADA stuff that's going on. Again, thank you for everybody being here. And the goal of this channel is for us all to make it to the finish line and to create a community that resonates with each other so we can spend the rest of our days on the most beautiful beaches of the world together. With that, we'll jump right into things this morning and talk about the psychology of the market cycle. And Riz XRP out here, many of you have seen this psychology of the market cycle and where we are within the market, getting ready to go into this altcoin bull run. But his belief is we're at the optimism stage and this rally is real and it's going to happen. And that's what we've been talking about and been showing you the news of what's going on. You're going to see again today, everything that is going on within the crypto environment is all positive news. And we're going in the right direction for the assets that we hold. And again, my philosophy is I'm a utility maxi. I invest in a diversified portfolio, everything from XRP, HBAR, XDC, XLM, SHX, you name it. If it's ISO 222, I'm looking at it and I'm involved with it. But optimism, are you optimistic out there? I hope so. Let's keep going. Analyst news, they say XRP is on the verge of all-time breakouts, says the Bollinger Bands signal. So they say XRP is showing signs of a potential breakout, as recently pushed past the medium of its Bollinger Bands on the daily time frame, now sitting at $3. And at this time, it's sitting a little over $3, $3.10, I believe, at the time of this recording. And again, these are just signals. And what's the next logical move? A test to the upper Bollinger Band, which is currently sitting at about 350. So we'll see what happens. But again, analysts, they look at these charts all the time and they've got the news on it. How about this one? XRP looks like the best altcoin. I would think so. And with some of the news that we'll see together, I bet you think so as well. So remember, hold on to those bags, hold them tight, make sure you protect them. And as the banner says at the bottom, avoid the scammers, watch them. They're out there in force. And keep your stuff on hardware wallets or software wallets. Do not keep them on the exchanges for fear of either not being able to get to them or for them getting lost. Your keys, your crypto. But again, XRP looks like the best altcoin, says the seasoned trader in the charts. So what's he got to say about it? We go down inside of the chart and he basically says it's demonstrating two crucial levels XRP has surpassed in recent weeks. It's managed to turn the resistance zone at $2 into strong support and then found the next support level at $3. And yep, we seem like we've been sitting at the $3 mark. You know, we dipped down a little bit to $2.90, $2.85, but the $3 is the crucial mark. And today, we're looking for the end of the month to stay above that $3 mark, which we're almost at the end of January. Time is flying. There's a lot going on, but we'll see what happens in the near future at the end of this month, 2 days. Chris Giancarlo, former CFTC chairman. So all the talk in the jazz is out there is about the digital commodity stockpile, the reserve stockpile that President Trump's been talking about, that the industry has been talking about, and making a American or a crypto stockpile, basically supporting American-backed crypto, making America the crypto capital of the world. But let's see what he had to say out here. And digital asset investor provided this content.
We may once again base our currencies on a commodity, but this time a digital commodity, one that has program scarcity built into it, such as Bitcoin. Oh, it's not such a far-fetched idea, because countries like the BRICS nations are already experimenting with that idea, and China's been talking about it with their own digital commodity. So the notion of a stockpile, and I would ask the question, does it need to be limited to Bitcoin? Maybe it might be limited to other digital commodities like Ethereum, like XRP or others, but we can explore that. But I think the notion of a stockpile makes a lot of sense. In fact, nations like the United States, nations like China stockpile commodities all the time. We stockpile petroleum. China stockpiles soybeans.
So the argument being made is, again, if we look at these as commodities and we have a strategic stockpile, we already do this, is basically what he's saying. So why would we not do this in the vital industry of crypto if we're going to back it and we're changing the regulation and we're going to have a firm foothold going into the future in this market? Makes sense to me. What about you? Internet of Value. So this came out of the XRP day. Again, there was so much information that came out of that. I talked about some of it yesterday, but this is another clip from Brad Garlinghouse talking about the Internet of Value. So when we're talking about that, we know we can send email in a second across the world, and making an internet of value so that we can move commodities, so we can move stocks, so we can move real estate across these blockchains, these layer ones, XRP, HBAR, XLM, all of these blockchains that are capable of tokenization and moving that value across the networks instantly, 24/7. Let's hear what Brad had to say about that.
The vision behind Ripple, and first meeting with Chris Larson, one of our co-founders, the vision around an internet of value is it resonated with me deeply. And, it was one of these things where you're like, okay, this makes sense. It makes the world a better place. And the challenge is, of course, when you talk about these big, impactful visions, is where do you start? Like, how do you get step one? And I've used the comparison of, every marathon, takes a first step. And the challenge is like getting the momentum moving in the right direction. And I think one thing I talked about over breakfast is like the momentum now is stronger than it's ever been. And I think Ripple, as well as the XRP community, is in a stronger place than we've ever been. Look, I think everybody has felt the frustration, and I certainly chief amongst them, of the headwinds. But, look, from a whole bunch of different ways, I find that we're in this just unbelievable, powerful spot now. And 2025 really could be an amazing year. And I mean that. We talked yesterday about some of the new life.
So again, an absolutely instrumental time period that we're in. As Raoul Paul says, let's not F this up, because we have an opportunity at this point with the full backing of administrations and a country behind us to not F it up and move towards an internet of value, to where we can push everything instantaneously 24/7. And for us as holders, as owning these assets, what does that mean? Profits. And that's what we're here for. We're here for long-term profits. We're here for a macro view. Again, I speak to it all the time. We have to have a macro view with these things and look into the future, 6 months, 1 year, 5 years. What are you going to do with your bags? Have your exit strategy. For me, I've said this before, I don't plan on ever selling all of my crypto. I plan on utilizing my crypto to be able to leverage it to buy other assets. And we will see that in the coming future as all of this new financial system is coming into place. Let's talk a little bit about stable coins. So Howard Lutnick, which is Trump's pick for the Secretary of Commerce, came out during his briefing or review that they were doing on Capitol Hill with him, basically, and he came out and said that US stable coins should be audited. Okay, well, I think I can name one stable coin for sure that could be audited and be fully backed and have an audit proof system that is in place, which is RLUSD, which was approved by NYDFS, which is Ripple's stable coin. And it just so happens that that came out today, the RLUSD, or yesterday, the RLUSD reserves report has come out. And again, this is by Mr. Mann. He posted this, but again, clear and transparent, not shady, not hiding anything, regulatory backing with this reserves report showing exactly what is in the reserves and fully auditable. Again, creating trust. That's what's going to be needed for all of this to move into the financial system and for the banks to start to custody this and use these environments, the stable coins in the cryptocurrency. We have to have trust, and Ripple and that RLUSD coin absolutely have that trust and provided the reserves report as proof. So documented. More RLUSD news, and this is exciting. This comes from Anders out on X. And again, wow, this is huge, turning RLUSD into the first ISO 222 compliant stablecoin. XRPL can become the platform where trillions are tokenized. And we know, again, the macro view, that's where we're looking towards. We're looking into the future. We know that Ondo now has that partnership with Ripple, which has a partnership with BlackRock, who is what, Larry Fink, wanting to tokenize and bring millions and millions of dollars of tokenization to the XRP platform. But Austin King, let's read through this thread, and this is exciting. You better hold on for this one. But again, making RLUSD a ISO 222 compliant stablecoin. Last week, we announced that Omni expanded Ripple RLUSD to over $38 billion of new DeFi liquidity on DevNet. What we'll do next is position RLUSD to also win the TradFi opportunity by turning into the first ISO 222 compliant stablecoin. Unbelievable. Great news. And this is where everything is going. Ripple is the best positioned company in the world to tokenize the traditional financial system. And that opportunity is worth tens of trillions. Because of this, we're creating deep integrations between Omni and XRP. So what does that mean for us? It means that this is about to get much larger than just payments. Again, Ripple, XRP, the bags that you own, the stuff the crypto that you are invested in is going to be the platform that banks use to tokenize trillions in assets. And Omni will distribute those assets across all chains, putting XRP at the center of the on-chain economy. Phenomenal. You have to understand what you hold, folks, and be confident in what you hold. And that's part of what this channel is about. If you haven't seen this news, absolutely huge news, more stablecoin news. And again, all of this just shows that where we are going as a country. The state of Wyoming is creating stablecoin rails, and these were their selections for layer 1 and layer 2 platforms. Stellar. So we're going to listen to this video here, but Stellar was picked as one of the 9 networks for layer 1s. So if you're a Stellar XLM holder, this is going to be big as well.
We need to make sure that if stable tokens ended up where we don't want them, we have the ability to perform some kind of interdiction. That being said, because that sounds kind of scary, we as a state will have a lot of rails in place and guardrails in place to make sure that there's no way anyone on our side can do any kind of unilateral interdiction. There will need to be subpoena processes, multi-sig solutions before anything actually gets interdicted. So as that process continued, we identified about 30 different chains that would be in scope for assessment. Those binary criterias cut that down by about half. So we did a scoring assessment for those 14 chains. And of those 14, the working group recommended as layer ones, Solana, Sui, Ethereum, Stellar, and Avalanche based on their scores to the commission, as well as Polygon, Base, Arbitrum, and Optimism as layer 2 solutions. This was presented to the commission. The commission voted to approve both the criteria and the selection, and we moved on from there.
Absolutely huge. So again, XLM was picked as one of the layer 1 solutions for the Wyoming stablecoin. This is where we are going. And again, the news is just to give you a broad overview of what the market is doing. Bitcoin news. Again, Senator Cynthia Loomis says America must take decisive action to establish a strategic Bitcoin reserve and secure its place in the 21st century. Now, again, she's a big proponent of a Bitcoin reserve. Again, I think the stockpile is going to be a combination of Bitcoin and other assets. It will not just be Bitcoin, in my opinion, but we're here for the ride and we will see. But again, all of this data is coming out and everyone is talking crypto at this point in time. Also, Texas unveils a plan to establish a Texas Bitcoin reserve in 2025. Again, another state jumping in line. A lot of the states already have are trying to establish Bitcoin reserves at the state level. I think we're up to 33 or 34 now states, but Texas, again, is on board as well to have that done in 2025. Just a little bit more news. I want all the ADA holders, please take care and remind yourselves that last night, Cardano evolved and the Plomin fork took effect. So if you own ADA and you are a staker of ADA, there is a requirement for you to go back into your staking pools and make sure you delegate correctly. All right. So when you go in, I don't know, depending on what platform you're using, you'll have to pick a DREG and make sure you reestablish that, or else you won't be collecting any staking rewards. So again, the Plomin fork, as of last night, it is now in effect for full decentralized governance. And now we, as ADA holders, gain real voting power, and we actually can make a difference, and we can participate in the network. But again, the news here is if you are an ADA holder, please make sure you go back into your staking pools and make sure you set your delegation back up correctly. You'll get a notice for that. And then lastly, today we have an SEC closed meeting. So we don't know what happens in these meetings, but we'll see what happens. The last one that came out, as Crypto Barbie says here, we found out that SAB 121 was going to be rescinded, and was. So who knows what may come out of today's meeting. But again, all exciting news, just to give you a broad picture, a macro picture of where we are going with XRP and these digital assets and Bitcoin. All cylinders are firing. Make sure you keep your mindset on lock, stay positive, understand what you own, be safe. And until next time, Zip is out.